cop responds to a dead body call with the victim contorted on the bed. All the religious objects are knocked over, and the crosses on the walls are turned upside down. Is this a case of demonic possession or mental illness and abuse? This is your After Action Report. Let's get into it.
This is an emergency broadcast. This is not a test.
For Added Up, what things did you like about it? For me personally, the first thing that I believed or that was convincing was the fact that it was law enforcement involved. There was 2 beat cops who saw it and 1 sergeant, and they all saw the same thing, and they all documented how strange it was. So there's the police reports, the photo evidence, and everything else that goes with that. So it's not just some random person saying, oh, I saw X, Y, and Z with no proof. This is a bit different of a situation. What about you?
But I'm looking at it from a different point of view of being in law enforcement, that I've done it for so long. And I've seen so many dead bodies that when you have one stand out like that, obviously I wasn't there in person for it, but none of that makes any sense. The thing for me, maybe because I'm Catholic and I've seen a lot of horror movies, is a cross is going upside down on the wall, the one turned and nail mark. That alone by itself, unless someone got up there and twisted it, but then to balance it on the nail.
So you would agree that the law enforcement angle gives it more credence because of that fact. And Will's going there, and obviously he even said he wasn't like, oh, I believe this is demonic. He was going there like, what the hell is this? And then you have her condition in a wheelchair. Everything's turned upside down. The desecration of religious objects, which every exorcist we've spoken to on this podcast has said that's what happens. So it is a strange.
He's such a factual guy, and he's not a whimsical, like, oh, this is supernatural. Like, he's not that guy at all. So for him to be going out on a limb and saying it's supernatural like that, and possibly, whatever you want to call it, demonic or what, nobody knows, right?
I wanted to ask you this. Did you ever see the original report or the original photos?
No, because when we both were trying to look it up on the old system, it was all discombobulated and everything was thrown out. It's basically looking like a code, and it's everything.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
thrown like a puzzle, and it's just scattered. And there were no photos at all. We couldn't even find the photos.
But at the time that he had it happen to him, did you know him then? Did you say it? Did he talk to you about it?
I knew of him, but he didn't talk to me about it then.
Okay.
No.
And when you guys take
he didn't
photos,
talk to me about it till we were. What?
When you guys take photos in police work for evidence, do you guys do it on your cell phones, or do they have a designated camera? Because when I did it a long time ago, it was like a designated camera that you had to use. You couldn't be flashing on your phone. But is it more loose now?
When we started, we had little digital cameras, and then you take those and you attach them to your report. Now with Axon, the body camera, you upload photos from your work phone to that system, and it's all done on your work phone, like cell phone, basically. So it's a lot easier now to have the photos.
Yeah.
But then at that point, I believe it was still in the digital camera mode era.
So he doesn't, he never, okay.
So it wasn't even a work phone. It wasn't on anything.
And the other thing was that I bought into before we moved to what was kind of less convincing was, like you said, her condition, wheelchair bound. And that, at first you're like, well, maybe she wasn't, maybe she was. But then the fact that they taped the extension cords on the walls obviously was showing that they had to move her in and out on the wheelchair. So that just confirmed her physical condition in that sense.
Well, the fact that she was even in there in the first place and in hospice, you have to be near death to be there. So obviously her condition of walking or anything is like minimal to none.
What didn't add up? Every single paranormal event always has things that you're like, oh, I need to see more of that, more evidence of this or that kind of like, I don't know, that could go either way. For me, obviously, we just touched on it. I would love to see the photos. I would love to see the any kind of video. For me personally, to believe something, like I want to see it. You know what I mean?
The things I've experienced have been pretty standard. So, and I've been on probably 15 to 20 pretty bizarre calls with Will, and none of them have been anything near close to that. And he hasn't acted like that in any of the calls. Never blown a call out of proportion or, well, this is weird and this is supernatural. Never has anything leaned supernatural, any call I've ever been with him, ever.
If you knew her medical condition?
Well, they did. They have to disclose that to you when they die. They have to tell you the last time they saw a doctor. They have to tell you any ailment they're suffering from. They have to tell you any medication they're on. All of that has to be disclosed to you.
Yeah, so I want to know that.
You know everything when you go there, and when they died, you know everything that they have been diagnosed with, or were. If an autopsy is done, which it wasn't, that would show more.
Is that coming from? When you said they have to disclose that, is that coming from the nursing home people? Because that was my thing that I don't buy is like, you can't trust them based off his story. they were shady. They weren't telling the truth. They weren't answering those questions. You had the old dude, like, what the hell was he doing? That's super weird to me. And so can you trust the fact that they're saying, oh, she couldn't move? But then I was going through my head, like, why would they lie about that? Why would they go in there and turn the crosses upside down? They wouldn't do that. So either they're wrong and she was able to get up there and do it, but the fact that she still did it doesn't mean that she doesn't have something weird going on. In addition to the mental illness part of it, that's just so fuzzy and unclear. Her mental condition, what she was like suffering from, and then the nurse testimony.
It was dementia, it was all that. I mean, that was cleared, and she was in there, she was in that hospice. I mean, who knows why the family put her in that one, but it's probably cheap.
What would you do if you were there in the moment? What would you have liked to have done? What would you do and check out? Like for me, I would definitely check the height of the cross, where it is, and measure it, see if there's any like markings or anybody got up there, how she got up there, if there was like any like scratches like on the bedpost or however she got, because we can't see it, we don't know what the setup was exactly like in terms of the room. But if she was able to get up there somehow, that's what I want to check. Is there anything that would stand out to you? And I definitely would want to interview the nursing people again. I'd be like, guys, listen to me. Who turned those things upside down?
The fact that she died like in the position she did shows you that she can't walk. Because who would die like that? That doesn't make any sense.
Rotated over.
Why would you want to die like that? Yeah, and in that weird contorted position. Why would you want to die like that? That shows you right there she can't stand up and she can't get out of the bed.
Oh, like she was trying to crawl off the bed or something?
Possibly. But for her standing up and moving across upside down and bouncing on the top of the cross to not flip the other way or one way or another, no way.
But I would want to check that.
But I would look at that, and I'm sure he's not going to make up. I mean, if
somebody doesn't make it up,
reached and turned the cross, he would have said, it looks like somebody could have reached over and turned the cross upside down.
The other thing I'd want to know, if clergy ever came, if a priest ever came, or if clergy ever came and interacted with her at all. If they're religious, if she was religious, and she's obviously they thought she was possessed. If anybody ever was called or came to talk, and then who that was and talked to them and asked them what they thought. Yeah. Like that would be fascinating.
And who knows what nightly they were experiencing there. Who knows? Maybe they were.
I know, like, yeah, that's a good question. Is like, did you guys hear anything or see anything?
Yeah, I mean, you don't know. I mean, we get that little experience, a little blip of time there, but they're they're nightly, daily.
Give me a mundane explanation first, like what you think it could be if it wasn't something paranormal.
So either this is all fabrication in the hands of the nurses, and they're make-believing all of this up, and the cross was moved by them. I mean, that's one possibility, and she just wiggled herself into that position and passed away.
It's completely possible that they believed it so much that they painted that picture, and then she was just, crazy and had problems, and then that's all it was. I'm just saying that that's possible.
They willed the crosses to go upside down? That doesn't make sense.
No, she could have gotten up there and turned them. I'm saying, like, it's all dependent upon, like, her physical condition.
But she couldn't walk.
I know. We're assuming she can't walk. We don't really know if she can't walk.
No, she couldn't walk.
They're saying she can't walk.
When you're in hospice, you're fucked up. Like, you're on your deathbed. I mean, there's a reason she was in that room. There's a reason there was a wheelchair there.
You've had people with Alzheimer's dementia. You've seen people in the jail. I've seen, you've seen people, and it is pretty scary and unnerving when you see people with like severe mental illness. It's like, whoa, this feels like something demonic or supernatural. That is really true. So she could have had that and just convinced everybody that, because she was so like, that stuff it's really dark and scary and sad that it happens to people as they start losing their minds. So, it is possible. Give us the final score, Tim, for you, from 1 to 5. 5, you believe it the most. 1, I don't believe it at all. What is your score?
I mean, for not being there, I'm 4.
4? Okay.
Yeah. 4.5.
And what would raise it?
This is purely out of just believing it, because I wasn't there,
I know. So what would raise it to 5? The fact that you see evidence? Like, you'd have to be
if I was there physically in person.
Okay.
And saw it all.
For me, 3 out of 5. And it's not because I don't believe Will. I do. I just, those other questions.
Well, you're even disconnected further from it than me.
No, I believe him that he saw what he saw, and then the condition of the room and everything. It's just, I just don't believe. I have to see the medical report about her physical condition or mental condition, and I got to see.
They have that on file. They have to have that when they're in hospice. So that you can throw out the window.
But that would seal it.
They have to have that there to even be in hospice. They have to have it. So we see all that when we're there. They hand you the paperwork, like, this is what the doctor, and they hand you the list of things that are wrong with them on like a sheet from the hospital.
The nurse,
from the doctor.
the nurses?
They're like, Yeah, they
Yeah,
have to
but
have
he
that.
said
They
they
have to have
weren't
it.
certified, and they were like kind of like a mom and pop shop. It's like you can't believe anything they say. Really, they're like an unreliable.
Yeah,
witness.
but she still sees a doctor because they have to have a doctor.
Yeah, I
to
hope
be
so.
seen.
Because if she was possessed, if you want to take that hyper religious route, and I'm not saying it's not true or possible, if she was, it's very sad because obviously she wasn't being helped and tormented. And if she was just by herself, mentally going down the drain and shoved in a back room because they think she's possessed, that's also very sad. So if you're a first responder and you have a strange story you'd like to share, make sure you check the link in the description. We would love to hear it. If you've just watched this video, please let us know your confidence score from 1 to 5 and tell us what would change your mind.